You can take your time arriving to your comfortable position. You can use some of this time right at the beginning to check in with your body and how it's feeling today. And maybe do some neck rolls, some side body bends, some torso twists, and just start to tune into your shoulders, your spine, your hips, and just moving intuitively, moving how your body wants to move, and not worrying at all about what it looks like, just coming into that realm of feeling and trusting the feelings in your body and the urges you have for movement. So no rush at all. If you want to keep doing some movements, you can do so for as long as you need. But whenever you feel ready, you can come to a position of stillness with a straight spine. And if you're in a space where you feel safe to do so, at any point you can allow your eyes to gently close. And just mark your arrival to this practice today with a full and deep cleansing breath. A long, slow inhale in through the nose, letting yourself fill up fully. Pausing for a moment when you're full and just experiencing that fullness. And as you need to, letting it all go. Slowly exhaling. Pushing that final bit of air out of you, really pulling the navel into the spine and just truly emptying yourself. And pausing to feel that emptiness as you let your next breath come as it's needed. And you can breathe just like that for a few more rounds if that feels good. And at any point you can release this guidance and come to your natural breath. As you are ready, you can release this guidance or control altogether and allow yourself to step back into the role of the observer or the witness. And just letting yourself simply witness your breath, your body as it breathes. And letting each breath come and go just like the waves come and go on the shore. Not trying to speed it up or slow it down, deepen or shallow, but just witnessing it exactly as it is in its natural state. Even for just a moment. And then starting to become curious of the physical posture that you have chosen and the shape that your body is in. Noticing any curving in the spine, any curving in the shoulders or the neck. And if you're sitting upright, just imagining that the highest point of your body, the tip of your head, is just being magnetically drawn up toward the ceiling or the sky. And at the same time, your sit bones are being magnetically held to your seat, drawn to the earth. And if you're laying down, you can simply feel that the crown of your head and the soles of your feet are reaching in opposite directions. Just letting the two ends, the top and bottom end of your body, actively reach in the direction they're facing. And just letting yourself take up a little bit more height, a little bit more length in the body. And starting to feel that connection between your pelvic floor up the spinal cord and into the back of the throat. And just feeling that center line of your body. Feeling your shoulders stacked over the hips. And the head stacked over the heart. And then at the same time as you're feeling this length in the body from top to bottom, start to feel some length across the collarbones. So that your heart is sitting in line with the upper arms in a proud position. And not losing any length in the back of the neck as you do so. Just letting really slight tuck in the chin so that you feel all the length down the back of the neck. And also feeling just a really slight tuck in your lower rib cage. And just protecting your spine, protecting the lungs, the organs. And as you hold this proud posture, letting all of your muscles surrender here. Letting your arms and your hands be heavy. Letting your stomach be soft, your hips. Let your jaw hang in its place, hanging heavy. As your tongue softens, your teeth, your gums, the insides of the lips, and the outsides of the lips. The nostrils, the ears, and the cheeks. Just letting all of these muscles just hang off of the bones. Trusting your anatomy, trusting your skin to hold everything exactly where it needs to be. Letting any expression on the face just melt away as you soften the eyes, the eyelids, all those tiny, tiny muscles that scrunch up the eyes when you squint, letting those soften as the eyes just become a tiny bit wider. The eyeballs resting in their sockets, the eyebrows and the forehead widening and expanding, deepening. And letting all the softness in the face just naturally continue to the hairline, to the scalp, going down your entire skull, down your neck, and just naturally cascading down the entire body. And just letting this wave of release just overtake the body. And letting this be a process of accepting exactly the way your body is right now. Even if as you scan your body from head to toe, you feel any areas of pain or discomfort, just letting this sense of release and acceptance focus a bit stronger on these areas. And practicing accepting whatever sensations are present, even if pain and sorrow might be present. Our meditation practice is not about washing over everything with love and light and trying to erase all the bad feelings. This practice is about noticing everything that is present and not trying to change the bad feelings that we have. Remembering that they are just as much a part of our life as the good feelings. And if you just picture that yin and yang symbol, there's always a bit of light with a speck of darkness in the middle, and always a bit of darkness with a speck of light in the middle. And we are not meant to escape feeling bad. We are simply meant to feel the full range of emotions, the full range of experiences in this human life that we're all in. So releasing any expectations you have for your ongoing practice, for yourself and the way you think you should be feeling. And just letting all of those shoulds fall to the side. And just showing up for yourself exactly as you are feeling. As you remember that every single feeling, every single thing is temporary. And sometimes when we're in the middle of a storm, it can feel like we've always been in a storm and we're never not going to be in a storm. And we forget that the storms always pass. Every storm runs out of rain. And when we're basking in the sun, we will feel the same way. And these are just simple cycles of our existence. And sometimes our greatest source of suffering can be trying to erase those cycles, trying to hit pause and stay at one place, rather than just watching the waves come and go, letting yourself exist in whatever place you are at. So you can just continue to soften your body, feel into the words that I say, and allow whatever resonates to soak in deeper. So I'm going to read now from Clarity and Connection by young Pueblo. It is okay to not have the answer. One of the bravest things you can do is boldly embrace the unknown. Accept your fear and continue to move forward. A clear mission does not always have a clear path. How many times has your mind taken a small piece of uncertain information and spun a story around it that ends up consuming your thoughts? The mind is inclined to protect itself, but an attitude of defensiveness easily breeds anxiety. Out of caution, we fixate on uncertain information and create stories that can lead to unnecessary fear and mental tension. Taking a moment to notice when we are jumping to conclusions can save us from worry and grief. Through self-awareness, we can begin to notice when we are overthinking. The simple act of bringing our awareness out of the mental clutter of unreliable thoughts and back into the present moment can preserve our energy and decrease the friction we feel. To be clear, there is nothing wrong with protecting oneself, but it is helpful to observe how often we take a defensive stance. If we are only ever defensive, we are surely getting in the way of our inner peace. Too many of us project our old conditioning onto new situations. Reactions happen quickly and are based on past perceptions. They make it challenging to process what is happening in an unbiased and objective manner. If you want to see things clearly, use your self-awareness to intentionally set the past aside and take in a fresh perspective. Redirecting your attention preserves your energy. Self-awareness is noticing the rhythm of your thoughts, feeling when they are clear and when they are out of sync. knowing when to take them seriously and when to let them go. Not every thought is valuable. Most are just sounds of impulsive emotional reactions. Real maturity is observing your own inner turbulence and pausing before you project how you feel onto what is happening around you. Sometimes you need to move slowly, so you can then move powerfully. The modern world is so fast-paced that you feel the pressure to keep up. Setting aside what everyone else is doing and moving at your natural speed will help you make better decisions and lift up your inner peace. As our self-awareness deepens, we begin to understand that much of who we are and how we see the world is formed through the accumulation of past emotional reactions. These moments of intense feeling leave their mark on the subconscious and predispose us to repeating certain pattern behaviors. The rapid movements of the mind are so subtle that we can feel as though we are the makers of our own present destiny. In reality, the past is constantly pushing itself into the present, inclining us toward replicating old emotions and thoughts. The insistence of our mental past gives us little room to decide for ourselves how we actually want to feel. The past does not take into account how things truly are. The same way patterns accumulate, they can be released. Letting go is possible, but it requires courage, effort, an effective healing technique, and a consistent practice. The mind is immensely vast. It takes time to unbind old patterns that recreate the past. When we begin to develop self-awareness and a calm mind, the stories and patterns embedded in our subconscious begin to surface for release. When we travel inward, we may hit a particularly rocky layer of the mind, a sediment of conditioning that has been thickly reinforced. When we let go of the hardened inner layers, we often feel the impact of their release in our personal lives. The storms of yesterday or the heaviness of past moments rise to the surface. We may feel as though we're on the edge of turbulence and disharmony as we open ourselves up to deconditioning. Real growth is recognizing these moments and treating ourselves gently as the storms pass. Wisdom is accepting that there are things you cannot force. People change when they are ready. Creativity moves at its own rhythm. Healing does not have a time limit. And love blooms when it aligns. Just taking a few moments here to let all of those words settle. And letting this whole practice settle within you as you absorb whatever things felt helpful to you, whatever words you heard today that resonated with you. Just letting those truths be enhanced within you. Trusting that you have all of the answers to every question that you seek the answer for. And just enhancing that trust you have with yourself and your inner knowing. And if it feels like something you'd like to do today, you can let your hands and fingers find each other at a prayer position at heart center. And just feel that connection of your fingers to each other, of your palms to each other, and letting your heart lift toward your thumbs as your thumbs press back toward your heart. And just feeling that pulse of your heart and your palms together, reminding you of the constant gift of life that you have. And as you take a deep breath into the body, just letting yourself fill up with this fresh new air. And as you exhale, just allowing your head to gently bow as you bow to the source of energy that is allowing your heart to beat, whatever you believe that to be. Bowing to the constant source of guidance and inspiration all around you, whatever that means to you. Bowing to everyone in this space who has listened and completed this practice right alongside you. And finally, bowing to yourself for choosing to show up today and for taking the time out of your busy life for this pure act of self-love and self-care. May this act continue to heal you through the rest of your days and nights, and may you bring the same love and understanding to everything that you do and everyone that you see.